Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. I'm going to give folks a couple minutes to trickle in. I see we have Adam. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Who else do we have? We have Dawn and Ed, Hugh. Thank you guys so much for joining us. When I say I'm excited to be here today, I mean I'm excited to be here because our friends from the Institute for Automotive Business Excellence are back. So we have an exciting session today. But before I jump into that, my name is Nicole McLaughlin and I'm the marketing director here at RO Writer. Before I get to the good stuff, I do have a couple of housekeeping notes as always. So this presentation is a live broadcast. We will send you a copy of the slides and recording via email by the end of next week, so keep an eye out for those. There will be a follow-up survey after the presentation, so if you like what you hear and you want to hear more from either RO Writer or the Institute, please let us know there. And then rather than opening up the Q&A at the end, we do want to make the session as engaging and live and interactive as possible. So what you'll do is you'll drop your questions as we go. We'll address them right away. And then we can go from there. So I see a couple of new faces on the line with us today, which is fantastic. So if you're not familiar with RO Writer, we are a comprehensive automotive repair shop management software built to help shop owners just like you optimize every aspect of your business. So this includes service writing, invoicing, customer communications, reporting, and so much more. And we've been in the business for over 30 years. So we're the trusted business partner you need. But let's get to the good stuff. So this is exciting. Not only do we have my friend Jimmy Lee with us today, but Jimmy just celebrated a big birthday on Tuesday. So everyone help me in welcoming Jimmy with a happy birthday note in the comments. Welcome, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, happy birthday. I'm now over 50.
You don't look it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yep. Thank you very much. Are you dropping in happy birthdays? I have to look, I
Oh,
guess.
lots of you. Adam wishes you a happy birthday.
Thank you, Adam.
Both Adams wished you a happy birthday, actually. So
thank you, Adams.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
I'll hand it over to you to kick us off.
Nice. Okay. Well, if I click back and forth, my clicker stops clicking. So we're gonna hit this ground running because we're gonna talk about raving fans and about your Google reviews and how they're important, why you need them, how you need them, and what we can do to create more, and how you can convert that Google review to become a raving fan, an advocate for you that is working for you 25 hours a day, 366 days a year. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're out there working for you all the time. So this is so much information that we're going to jam into this, and you would have never thought that we could talk about reviews for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. But I will tell you that there is so much that goes into Google and Google reviews that it is definitely worth this look that we're going to take. So you've heard it said before, well, I have some negative Google reviews. I'll never be able to get rid of them. You can't get rid of them. Well, the answer is actually, yes, you can, and it depends. So there's a 50-50 chance, and there's 3 different phases to go through that you have a 50-50 chance of getting it removed. So we're going to talk about those as well. But first of all, let's talk about Google. What is Google? Type that in the chat. What is Google? So as you are thinking of Google and their platform and the information that they provide, what is Google? Go ahead and put those in the chat. And Nicole, as people are typing those in, I'm not able to see it on my side. So if you got any information, tell me what people are typing in here for what is Google.
Yeah, I've got you. So we'll give people a couple minutes because there is a little bit of a lag. Adam Ford, who wished you a happy birthday, says, "Is it a search engine?" ?
Search engine, yes, it is a search engine, but it's more. What more is it? What is Google? How does Google make money?
So Matt's on target here. He says Google is a for-profit company. We're getting closer.
Yes.
So what else do we have? Ed says it's the best internet search. Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's Ed, you're not wrong. It is the godfather of the internet. Google's able to track the sources of things. We know how much people are searching from Google. Depending on the report you read, it's anywhere from 66% to 74% of all internet searches are done through Google. So, yeah, it is a great source of finding out information. What
We've
else
got a
did you
couple
get?
folks that are right on the money though. We have Steve saying search engine AI marketing. We have Hugh saying selling advertising. Chris saying a platform for marketing. I think we're right on the money.
Yep. Google makes money because they're a marketing company. They
Mhm.
are a marketing company. So you as a shop owner, your currency that you have with Google is the trust they have in your shop or in your business to provide their clients with the answers that the clients are searching for. So the more confidence Google has in your shop, your business, your website, the more they promote you, the more you get drawn to the top, the higher your Google ranking. So there, Google gives us tips every once in a while. They talk about what goes into a good website and what you can do as a shop owner. We'll go over these three because, well, but just very quickly, because what we want to get to is reviews. Reviews. Google draws back the curtain every once in a while and they really open up to say what goes into your Google ranking. So let's talk, we're going to focus specifically on reviews today and what those reviews mean to you as a shop owner, because we love reviews. Does everybody love reviews? Type in the chat. Do you love reviews? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Type it in the chat. Do you love reviews? Yes or no in the chat. Are they all yeses, Nicole?
Well, most of them are yeses, but people want the 5-star Google reviews. They say yes if it's good and only if it's good.
Yes, 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 yes. And I love it. I love that you're all saying yes, but I also understand that you're lying to us because we know that you also hate reviews. You hate reviews because there is this negative connotation, negative reviews. We're going to talk about what you need to do in both these situations. So when Google pulls back the curtain, what I'm showing you here, this comes from Moz.com. You've seen this for quite a few years. This is an accepted iteration of what goes into your Google review. And about 23, almost 24% of your Google ranking comes from the social cues of your website, of your interaction with the public. So how does Google find this information? It's from all of the reviews that you're putting out there. As well, it comes from your social media. Totally different subject. We're not going to talk about social media today. We're going to focus on the reviews because the reviews become a very strong platform that you can stand on that shows the value of your shop and the value of your business. Almost 24% in social cues, and it's almost 8%, 8.6 into your reviews. So this has a lot of weight. Google gives the reviews. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star ratings. Google analyzed the automotive industry, and what they discovered is interesting. Shops that have a 5.0 rating, 5.0 Google review rating, they didn't believe it anymore. And I can't argue with them. Do you believe a business that has a 5.0 rating? If it's a 5.0 rating, do you believe that? No, Google doesn't either. Shops that have a 5.0 rating, no. We're human, we make mistakes, but there's a lot that goes into it. So the Google rating that you want to have is somewhere between a 4 and a 4.8. And I'm going to say it's probably even better that it's between a 4.5 and a 4.8. This really shows the human side of where you're at. So if your Google ratings and you're at that 4.5 to the 4.8, chances are you're doing really well. Google analyzed it. You do want 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, and 4 stars and 5 stars. This all goes into your Google rating. Customers, clients can only leave a single Google review. So what do? You still want more information. Well, they can update their information. They can update their review. I've done this with my shop here in St. George, Utah. I think I have like 12 updates that I've put in for my Google review because we keep adding cars to the family fleet. The family fleet has more than one car. So we take care of all those. So let's first dig into a little bit of abuse, Google review abuse. This is an interesting topic because it's not necessarily what you're going to look at on your shop and on your Google reviews. This is where you're looking at other people and seeing what they have or what they're doing. And this is where knowing what other people are doing, trying to boost their Google review, you want to make sure that you're not doing it for your account because this is flagged by Google and potentially you could lose a tremendous amount of your Google reviews. So spotting some of this abuse, it is coming from people that leave reviews all over the world. Why? I don't know, but it is one of those things that Google looks at. If a world traveler, have they actually been to your shop? So that's key there, number one. Trolls, trolls. This is quite interesting. There was a profile that had gone in on one specific city and negative reviewed every single automotive repair shop. Those trolls, you can flag that profile and get that deleted. Those trolls that are in there, it's a business practice that some review companies will try and implore to try and get you to buy their services. Don't fall for it. So those negative reviews, I'm going to show you how to get rid of those as well. Using stock images or stolen photographs that don't belong to the person that posted it. I'll show you what this looks like. Reviews that are being left for the multiple locations, even though they haven't been to all those locations. So if somebody's reviewing a business that has 4, 5, 6 different locations, but they haven't been to all 6, they've only been to the one, that is abuse of the Google review platform. And those can be flagged and removed. Also, and this is more common amongst attorneys, and what's the other one? Attorneys, some dental practice, where a friend or a colleague will go on and review you as a business to say, I've known Nicole for 15 years and she's an awesome person, so you should definitely go and see her business and have her work on your vehicle. Well, I've never been to Nicole's shop. You can clearly see that from the review that it's just a friend or colleague giving a positive review. So those are ones that you want to pay attention to if they're on your website or on your Google business profile. There's a chance it might be deleted because that person hasn't been to the shop. Next is incentivizing 5-star reviews. This is a bad thing. This is a no-no. So I'm telling you this so that you go in and look at your pictures that are online in your Google business profile. Are there photographs? And what you'll see, even going in on the Google tour, where people can come in and walk through your shop because somebody's come in with those 360 cameras. Go in and look and make sure that you don't have any placards or signs up that say, leave us a 5-star review and we'll give you a free set of wiper blades. Those types of incentives to get Google reviews is bad, and Google will take those down. And I've seen shops, well, it wasn't from incentivizing reviews. It was more towards this last one, review gating. I'll save the story for when we get to review gating because they went from 440 reviews down to 85. Very dangerous. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. Nicole.
Hey, Jimmy, I have a quick question for you. Is it, I guess, bad to incentivize 5-star reviews, or can you incentivize reviews in general? Even if it's a 1-star, you're still going to be the recipient of X, or it's any incentive around reviews is a no-no.
Any incentives around reviews is a no-no.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to read the 14 pages of Google review terms and conditions, feel free to read it. I've read it for you already. I'm telling you, Don't incentivize any sort of reviews, even if it's 5 stars or 4 stars, or even just saying, we'd love to, here's free wiper blades for leaving us a review. No, you don't go there. Don't do that. No raffles, no raffles for Xboxes or PlayStations, or even teeth whitening kits. So a lot of dental practices got busted on this one because they were giving away teeth whitening kits for leaving 5-star reviews. In the automotive industry, a lot of shops will give away wiper blades for the 5-star reviews. So don't do that. Don't do that. We'll talk about what that looks like. So let's talk about stock images. Can you tell which one is the stock image? And the answer is, yeah, absolutely. Nowhere here in North America are we wearing coveralls like that in the automotive shop. This is somewhere in Norway, the Netherlands. Professional photographer went in, took a bunch of shop pictures. So anytime you see these guys in these blue coveralls, it's this guy, and professional photographer made all the images available to everyone. It's a good placeholder for your website, but as soon as you possibly can, put on a picture of your shop, put on a picture of people in your shop, actually from your shop, not stock images. This is bad as a picture in a shop. So don't do this. Don't do this. You want the actual photograph of the inside of your shop, and that goes a long way, because not only can you put pictures, but your guests, your clients, they can also put pictures of themselves in front of your shop, in front of their vehicle, in front of your shop. So now you've got happy customers in front of the vehicles you work on with your logo and your branding in the background. Super powerful. And that they're posting the information away from the shop from a different IP address goes even further. It increases the value of that review to your shop and to your website, to your Google business profile. So this is powerful. So if you're looking around and you're looking at your competition, or you're looking at other shops and you do see some of these stock images, you could report it to Google as inappropriate, as a stolen image or a stock image, and Google would go in and take it down. I don't know any of you who have enough time to be able to go and start trolling other companies. So I'm not worried about them. I am worried about you. I want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you're not posting up these stock images, because they could be taken away. Okay, is it okay to have a review contest? Now, Nicole, this goes to your question. Is it okay? Can I put up an incentive? Can I give a $200 Visa gift card as a raffle? The answer is no. No, you can't. Well, Jimmy, what if I go and buy some 5-star reviews? There's companies out there that will sell you 5-star reviews. No, 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 no. This is also bad. In the terms and conditions of the Google reviews, this is people that have been to your shop, been to your business, and this is the interaction that they have had with you at your shop. So don't buy them. No, this is bad. And Google knows it. They'll catch on to it fairly quickly, and they'll take them all down, and you will be punished for it. As well, the raffles, the incentives, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Absolutely not. It's bad, and it's really bad. So let's go into the reviews. Now you're getting reviews. You are not incentivizing, but you are encouraging customers at the exit interview. In a day or 2 or 3 or 5, depending on your shop, you test this to know, is it best? Do I get the best response at 2 days after the invoice is closed, or 3 days after the invoice is closed, or 5 days after the invoice is closed? You want to send a link for your customers to be able to go in and leave a review on your Google review platform. And every time you get a review, you want to respond. So thank you, Craig's Car Care, Craig Zale in Allen, Texas. He responds to every single review. And you can see that through here. Every single review, both the positive and the negative, they all get a response. They all get a response. This is a long list. and they all get a response. Every review, positive and negative, they all get a response. Now, why? Why is that important? What should I say? What should we say in these review responses? When the positive ones, it's super easy, right? You know this. You get the positive reviews. You reply, thank you so much, Nicole, for bringing in your Lexus 450. We love working on your vehicle, keeping your brakes and shocks and struts, everything up to safety standards. It's easy to respond to those positive reviews. What about the negative reviews? What do you do on the negative reviews? When you get that 1 star or that 2 star, what do you do? We're going to talk about that because it might just be that badge of honor that you earned it. You earned it. And I'm going to tell you what, there are 2 different types of bad reviews, of 1 star reviews, because it always seems that we're the one extreme or the other. You either get a 5-star review or you get a 1 star review. So let's say that this is a 1 star review. This is a badge of honor. You earned it. There's also the other side, which is the mayor of Crazy Town. Everybody can smell them coming. Oh my gosh, this is so wackadoodle. This is crazy. This is not a real review. We're going to talk about what you do with those. But let's first talk about the badge of honor. What does that look like? I want to tell you about Griffin Muffler and Brake. My good friend Nanette Griffin was a 5.0 star rating, and oh man, now she's up to 189, and it's even better than that. She has sold the business, so this is a new owner that is taking over, and the new owner is doing a great job. So I'm telling you a story that has years under the bridge. Nanette Griffin, 5-star shop. Nobody believes the 5-star shop, right? 49 5-star reviews. I've been to Griffin Muffler and Brake. Phenomenal shop, and she does provide that 5-star experience. But she didn't have any 1 stars, 2s, 3s, nothing that would bring it out of that 5-star rating. Well, one day, badge of honor, they got a 1-star review, and she's so excited. What do you do? Well, she went on and replied to the review and said, oh my gosh, this doesn't meet our experience that we try and provide for our clients. Here's my phone number. Give me a call. We want to make this right. Lucky for her, what happens? Lucky for her, client comes and calls on the phone. Client comes into the shop, brings the car back. What is it? Oh, it's smudges on the hood or something very, very, very minimal. But they take care of the client. They take care of the customer. They do a whole nother digital inspection on the vehicle. The customer's feeling really good about this experience. And on her way out of the shop, she pops her head into Nanette's office and says, Nanette, this has been the best experience. Thank you so much. Customer service has never been, this is a stellar experience. All customer service should be trained the way that you have trained your staff and your people. This has been a wonderful experience. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I'm going to go change my 5-star review or my 1-star review to a 5-star review on Google. Oh, wait. What did Nanette say? Wait. No. Hold on a second. No. I need that 1-star review because I'm now a 4.9 star shop. This is perfect. This is what I need. Instead of changing the review, because clients see that. They see that out there. They see that 1-star review. When you go to a business, do you sort it to look at those 1-star reviews? How old are they? How old are they? Nicole, what are we seeing?
I'm back in, but Steve brought up a couple of good points to us. It's a little bit long, but let me read it to you. So
Okay, let's hear it.
he says, I coach my team to ask how their experience was, and depending on the answer at the time, we ask for a review while the customer is still in the store. And in the event their experience was not great, it allows us the opportunity to basically fix that. We have QR codes for Google that customers can scan to leave a review. But then he follows up with a question. And his question is, do you feel it is better to personally respond to reviews or use a service that monitors reviews to respond for you?
Ooh, that's a good question, Steve. So phenomenal. And in fact, let's unpack this because Nicole, there is so much inside of this. Let's
Mhm.
talk first to his first question, which was right at the very end. And now that I've said that, I forgot the question at the very end.
Yeah, is it better to use a service to reply
Service.
to the reviews, or should he be doing it himself?
So Steve, my advice would be that you do it yourself. If you do hire a service to do it for you, make sure that they have 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 20, or 100 different responses that could be from you so that it's not a copy and paste template on every review response gets the exact same information. That shows that you as an owner are engaged with your clients, and that's what Google wants to see. That's the currency that you're building with Google. Am I able to provide that additional value to my clients? So if you are going to hire a service, make sure that they have 20, 30, 40, 100 different responses from you that could be, thank you for coming in, we appreciate you, and we're here for you when you need us. That's what I would do on that. In the personal response that you are able to give, I would always recommend that if the client doesn't leave in their response or in their review, their vehicle, year, make, and model, the services that were performed, your response, your reply to them can contain that information. And what are you doing by doing that? Well, we're providing Google with some really good keywords. We're not keyword stuffing, but we're providing Google with some really good keywords about your shop working on 2012 Ford F-150s because you replaced the brakes, the shocks, the struts, the pads, the rotors, and you're taking care of Jimmy's Ford F-150. I love my truck.
And so say I have a Ford F-150 and I'm looking for somebody to service my Ford F-150 in the area. What's that going to do, Jimmy? It's going to pick up
Then
that
when
shop, right?
Now, when Nicole goes on and she types in Ford F-150 expert, Ford F-150 brakes, Ford F-150 rotors, Ford F-150 tires, Ford F-150 back axle, if those keywords are in my review, Google may queue that up and tee that up as an easy response to say, hey, Nicole, I know you're looking for an F-150 expert. Here's somebody that had a really good experience with Jimmy's Super Shop. Maybe you want to go there because they're a Ford F-150 expert. Here's a 5-star review for you.
And
So
I know we're probably going to get to it in a minute, Jimmy, but I wanted to drill down on the other aspect of his comment there about having a QR code to scan. Do you want me to save that for a little bit, or should we drill down now?
no, let's drill on that right now. So I love that you have the QR code. I love it and I hate it. I love that you're incentivizing people and you want them to come into it. There is a little bit of gating that you're doing. It can't be proven to Google. Probably not. It probably can't be proven. So what you're doing by that is and I love that you want to make sure that to make it right because you may have a bad experience with Mrs. Jones and her Mustang. So you definitely want to make that right before she leaves, goes home, and just unleashes wrath on a Google review. Okay, love and hate. Love it because the QR code there encourages them to leave a Google review. Here's my hate side or my dislike side. I don't hate it, I dislike it. And for this reason, if they're leaving the review and Google knows the geofencing, they know where that Mrs. Jones is leaving that review. And if it's inside of your shop, now Google has to question, okay, why are they leaving this review in the shop? Are they incentivizing? Are they giving a discount, a dollar amount off? Are they giving free windshield wipers? Is there something nefarious happening here that we want to cut that review out of that shop's Google reviews? So now what happens? We'll go into this in the gating section, which is really cool because you want them to be at home or at the baseball field or at the grocery store or back at the office leaving that review. So perhaps your QR code now goes on to the repair order or the invoice, or your QR code is a link that comes in a text or a link in an email requesting that review. So now they're away from the shop because it's 2 days later, or maybe it's still even that afternoon. 1 hour after the invoice closes, you're sending a request for a review. Why? Because they came in. My story. This is my story, Nicole. I brought my truck in for an oil service. $89, synthetic oil, getting the oil service. I get a call 2 hours later, and they said, "Hey Jimmy, you know, we've got the truck in on the lift. We're getting ready to da, da, da. In our digital inspection. You remember we've been watching these back brakes. You're down. It's now time. They definitely need to be replaced." So we did the pads, the rotors, pads and rotors, pads and rotors. Yes, pads and rotors. So it's now $800 more. So $889. Okay. Yes, you're right. Definitely get it done. We'd want to do it. They call again in another 2.5 hours and said, "Hey, Jimmy, you know, we've got the tires off. We're into it. We're halfway through, and we're seeing some seepage from your back axle. We're almost, do you want us to replace that seal now, or do you want us to do it next time? Now it's $400 for us to do it. Next time it's going to be an additional $800 because we have to pull everything off and get to this point where we are right now. Do you want to do it right now?" I said, yep, do it. So my experience, my oil change went from $89 to $889 to $1,289. Give me a minute to fall in love with my truck again. And by the way, driving down the street, I fell in love all over. It took me 3 minutes and I was in love again. The review request came the next day, and I went on and gave them a raving review because they're helping to keep me safe on the road, and I really appreciate them doing that. What hurt was going from an $89 oil change to a $1,200 invoice. But listen to both sides of that story. I appreciate them keeping me safe on the road.
Yeah, that's a good story. Thanks for sharing, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That well, just as a takeaway though, tell me you don't actually have a Ford, do you?
A Ford F-150?
Yeah.
I do. I just sold it. I'm
Oh, good,
sad.
good. I'm more of a Chev person myself, so that's why I was
Well,
wondering.
you and your bow tie can go.
I have a couple more questions coming in, and then I'm sure all the Ford people I'm going to hear from in the chat here in a minute. So,
And all the
um,
Chevys supporting you.
yeah, there we go. We have David chiming in. He's asking, does asking for customers you helped to change a review violate the Google terms and conditions? So
No,
asking them to, hey, can you fix that from a 1 star to a 3 star? Was that a no?
no, that's not wrong. That's not bad. Sometimes some people think, well, first place one star is the best. Oops, it's actually 5 star that's the best. So going back to Mrs. Smith and saying, hey, you know, thank you. We're glad you had a great experience. When you leave a 1 star, that's actually the worst score you could give us. It would be great if you would change it to a 5 star, and they would do that. If somebody had a bad experience and they did leave a 1 star and then they did get that 1 star, or that experience was rectified, the problem was fixed, there's no issue with you going to them and saying, hey, you know that you left us the 1 star. As an owner, you would go in and type out to say, oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Quinlan or Mr. Quinlan, for bringing in your vehicle. We're so glad that you brought it back to us so we could make everything right, and you list all the things that you made right. Thank you so much for your experience. We're here for you when you need us, keeping you safe on the road. So that response to their 1 star also helps Nicole when she comes and sees that the next time. And Google, sending out the Google bots, they crawl these reviews, they see that you made it right. So for you to go back to Mrs. Quinlan or Mr. Quinlan and say, hey, you know, I'm glad that we had a good experience, glad that if you feel it appropriate, you could go in and change the review from a 1 star to a 5 star. We would appreciate that. Or maybe you actually want the 1 star because it puts you in that sweet spot. Because of your reply, it's good, and it took you from a 5.0 rating down to a 4.9, which is giving you more credence and credibility with Google. So it's
And
not
people can see
necessarily a
that,
bad
right?
thing.
Yeah, people can see that, right? So like this example that you have up here is a good one. 189 reviews. If you're scrolling through, you can see they're all 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. One outlier is probably not going to break you, right? Like that, to your
Yeah.
point, you want to be in that sweet spot. But I do have a question that lends itself to the topic as well, and then we'll keep moving.
Yeah.
So Kim, I'm not really good at math, so I'm going to ask Jimmy the question, but I think I know the answer. It says
Public
at
math?
it's not really math. At some
Okay.
point, it says, please answer if our score goes down, how many 5-star reviews does it take to get back up? But you can never get back to a 5-star review, can you, Jimmy? Once you have that one that brings it down?
You can if all of your reviews are 5 stars, yeah, you could get, and then you got a 1 star and you got it changed or got it deleted and you went back up to a 5.0, yeah, you could go back to a 5.0. However, I wouldn't want to go back to a 5.0 because Google has come out and said between a 4.0 and a 4.8 is where you want to be. Chances are you want to keep that 1 star. But now let's flip this, Nicole. Let's go down and say your shop is at a 3.0. So you've got a lot of 1-star reviews. How do you get rid of those 1-star reviews? How do you show Google that this is the mayor of Crazy Town? How do you show Google that this is a badge of honor? You went in and you made it right. You do it with your responses. Question,
Yeah,
Nicole?
yeah, Kim chimed back in, and I'm glad she did because it gives more specifics. So it says, we're not at a 5-star, we're at a 4.7, but we want to get to a 4.8. So that's
Oh,
where the
so to
math
her
comes in.
question,
Yeah, how many 5 stars do you need to get back up to? I think it depends on how many reviews are there, doesn't it?
it does. And the only true answer is nobody knows.
Okay.
There are companies trying to break this algorithm, trying to figure out this algorithm of Google reviews. So follow me with this on this algorithm. And nobody knows the answer, by the way. Nobody knows it. If they tell you that they know it, they have a bridge to Hawaii they want to sell you as well. It's not a thing. Your Google reviews, you have longevity. So you have reviews that are older. Those reviews that are newer have a higher value than those that are older, but they're still both 5-star reviews. So which one has the more value, the more current? You have negative reviews that are in there as well. You have old negative reviews that don't have as much currency, but you have recent negative reviews, and maybe we don't call them negative. You have recent 1-star reviews. Those have a different weight than the older ones. So to the question, how many 5-star reviews does it take current to get it from a 4.7 to a 4.8? Nobody knows.
And
Your shop might be 20, but Nicole's shop might be 5. Pooja's shop might be 50. It depends on how many reviews you have. So the true answer is nobody knows. Nicole.
I hate to get caught up in the questions because I know you still have a lot to cover, but we do have
Oh,
some good
please do.
questions coming in. So Steve made a good point, and I guess I'm going to turn his comment into a question for you. But he says that you can utilize a Google review calculator to input what your current rating is and how to get to the new one. I'm going to turn this into a question to say, how do you feel about those calculators, Jimmy? Are they accurate? Does anyone really know, etc.?
According to Google, they're not accurate. According to, and I'm basing a lot of this off of a company out of Canada called Sterling Sky. They are tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 support for Google. They subcontract with Google, and they specifically specialize in Google reviews. So, Steve, I'd love to have a link to that calculator. I'd love to check it out. But
But to
what
your
I
point, are
everything
there dates and different weights and to like the different criteria that you were mentioning? Does that calculator take that into account? That's the
Nobody
thing.
knows. Yeah, they're all still trying to figure it out. Even Sterling Sky, that's subcontracted with Google for providing those tiers of support, even they don't know what the algorithm is. So there's people out there that will, and with a pretty broad brush, they're getting close, but there's not anything that's exactly correct. That's probably the best answer for it, Steve. The Google calculator will get you fairly close, but it's not going to give you the exact number. And that's what I was trying to address, is what's the exact number that I need, and nobody knows.
Steve's on it. He's 10 steps ahead. He's already pasted the URL, so I'll send that to you later on, Jimmy. But I do have one more question before we keep moving on, and this one's from Chris. It's a really great question. How do you respond to a 1-star review that you are being left by people who are not customers but are leaving 1-star negative reviews based on encounterments by their friends of friends that they feel that they had a bad experience?
Yes, yes, this falls right into that abuse category, which is what we're going to go into here next as we talk about how do you respond, or how do you reply to those. As an owner, I would reply to say, hey, Joe, I don't know who you are. You haven't been into my shop. You haven't experienced here. We'd love for you to come in so we could make it right, or so you could experience what it is here in our shop. But then also, let's take it right over here to the next steps of reporting that Google review to Google. You go to the negative review, click on the 3 dots, and report it to Google. This is phase 1. Now, this is phase 1 of 3 different phases. Click on the 3 dots, report it to Google. And there's a menu that'll come up. You mark it as inappropriate, or you can also mark it as a spam, or you can, there's another one. There's like 9 different options that come up when you do this. Inappropriate is the first one I would do. And you can ask your friends and your neighbors to also go in and mark it as inappropriate. 2 or more, according to Google, 2 or more gets their attention. With 12 people going in marking it as inappropriate, you definitely get even more attention from Google, because there's more people coming in and marking it as inappropriate. When you do this from your Google business profile, and we'll talk about this as well. This is on phase 4 here, or sorry, step 4. After 3 days, Google, that they do send you a notification. They'll send you an email. If you do it from your Google business profile, they'll send you an email. You can now go to the Google business profile. I did the wrong initials there. The Google business profile forum, you can go into the forum now and report it. Don't give away too much detail yet, because you want a case number. As soon as you have a case number, then you've got a human on the other end. They can help you to get that removed. So first, phase 1 is mark it as inappropriate, then take it to the Google business profile and have them go down the path. Chances are it's somebody from Sterling Sky that's helping you with your case. Once you get a case number, provide them as much detail and data and information as possible. Document, document, document. So if you look and it's Joe Smith that is leaving this leaving a 1-star review, and you want it removed, you show in your database under all J. Smith, John Smith, Jason, Joe, Jacqueline, that there is no Joe, there's no Joseph, there's no J. Smith that drives that vehicle that is in my shop. So you're documenting and you're showing this to Google so that they will then remove it. That's phase 2. You have a question before I go to phase 3?
I don't have a question. I just have a quick comment from Philip, which is a good point. He says that he's had a tremendous amount of success when he gets his store managers to report the 1-star review, the spam, the whatever it is, that same day. He says it's like as fast as you can get on it, that's the best.
Yes, totally agree. And get people from your church group, get them from the Cub Scout pack, get it from your technicians, your service advisors, their wives, anybody that's around you, anybody that you work with and associate with, as soon as you possibly can, get them on there to mark it as inappropriate. That'll get it removed fairly quickly. Yeah, thank you. Was it Philip? Thank you, Philip, for that comment. Super awesome. All right, so there's a couple different ways of reporting them. Google Maps is one way as well. Google Search, you can mark it as inappropriate. My favorite is going directly from the Google Business Profile and marking it as inappropriate right there. I've gone through and marked lots of different reviews as inappropriate because it was clearly the mayor of Crazy Town. Any questions there about phase 1 and phase 2? Phase 1 is into marking the review as inappropriate. Phase 2 is taking it to Google and saying this is inappropriate. Get a case number before you divulge a tremendous amount of information. Nicole, what do you have?
No questions for you, Jimmy, but I did just want to remind the audience, you don't need to jot it down like crazy. We will send you the slides, the recording, some tips and tricks. So if we fly through this last little bit quickly, it'll come your way later on.
Yep. It's all coming to you. And this is the 14 pages of information. I'm summarizing this for you to make it easy so that you can go in and report these as inappropriate. All right, and I'm going to skip past this because time permitting. This is coming to you. You can read over it. It's inclusive of all the information that you're looking for. Okay, on to remove by spam. Google automatically detects this. Now, Google's not as good as Yelp and Facebook. So if somebody comes in as attacking and then it goes viral and then there's a firefly of things happening at your shop, Google will temporarily, they can pause your Google business profile from these attacks, but there are these attacks that can sometimes happen. And the question is, what do we do? How do we respond? Step 1 is to remain calm and relax. Report it to Google so that they can pause the account. So the specific scenario that happened here is River Bluff Dental. This gentleman, the doctor, the dentist, was on safari. He paid money to a safari company. They supposedly had all the right tickets, all the right information, all the right stuff for him to go out on a big game hunting safari. And he went out and he shot a lion that he had a license. He thought he had a license for. He thought everything was above board, but the attacks that came in were relentless against this dentist. He went from a 3.8 Google reviews down to a 1.8. There were over 6,000 one-star reviews that came in within 24 hours. Over 6,000, bam, right onto, and they keep getting these reviews. And it's down to a 1.1. Look at that right there, 2,711 reviews. This was in the early stages. They such an uphill battle to go from this because of this scenario where he had gone and killed Cecil the lion. Here's the different phases that you go through in reporting the review. So you report the review. It gives you this drop-down menu, the 9 different things, and you can mark it as spam. You can mark it as a conflict of interest, and all of these different ideas here is where you go to mark it as inappropriate for your business. So this clearly is not a customer that has been into the shop, and this is online. This is right. You can go see this. I'm not pulling anything. I'm not making this up. This is a gentleman, Mr. Peter, that feels that he wants to bring this dentist to justice.
I'm
The
glad
way
you brought that up, Jimmy. Sorry, just to pause. Can we just go back one because we do have a question on that. So a couple of folks are looking for quote unquote inappropriate and said that they don't see it, but there are, just to highlight, a couple of alternatives to inappropriate, whether that's bullying or profanity. So I believe you use the term inappropriate to summarize the majority of these points, correct?
Yes, inappropriate is all 7 of these or 8 of these different options that you can select. The one that I use the most is conflict of interest or off topic, because it's somebody who clearly has not been into the shop. Conflict of interest, this is a competitor, or this is somebody who's trying to bring the business down. Those are the 2 best ones that I've seen. Profanity, bullying, discrimination, or hate speech, while you would think these have a lot of really strong teeth to them, Google seems to think that there's a much broader definition of discrimination or hate speech, or even bullying or harassment. And to the bullying and harassment, clearly this person lives down here in Iowa and they're trying to bring down a dentist that lives up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is not somebody that should be reviewing this dentist. It just shouldn't be a thing. Same thing here with Jonathan. Oh, so I put this on here because when somebody, the hardest 1-star reviews to remove, the hardest ones are this one, where there is no data, no information, no experience, nothing for you to engage or try to prove as wrong. This 1-star review is the hardest to get removed from your Google business profile. So this is where you need to go in and document to show that Jonathan Calloway, you have no Jonathan Calloway in your point of sale system. You have no J Calloway. You have no Jonathan C. This is where you're documenting this information to show Google, this is somebody who just really shouldn't be here. So that goes through phase 1 and phase 2. Now let's go to phase 3, which is, we can see that Jonathan clearly does not live up here in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. From his profile, we can see where he is leaving reviews. So you can now go up here into Jonathan's account, and under the profile, you can mark it as inappropriate profile. You can get his entire profile shut down. So usually with the mayor of Crazy Town, and this is somebody who's marking every shop as a 1-star review, that getting their profile shut down deletes all of their reviews. So not only are you doing a favor for yourself and your own shop, you're probably helping a tremendous amount of other shops as well that don't even know you're there working for them. Nicole, you have another comment?
We have quite a few questions coming in, and they're all really great. So this first one here is, what about on the opposite side of that spectrum, Jimmy? So how about if somebody leaves you a 5-star review, you have no idea who they are, they've never been to your shop before, and they don't exist in your database? Do you just leave it there, pretend?
I would say thank you very much, Stuart, for leaving us a 5-star review. Thank you. I mean, if it is a client, somebody that has been into your shop, they leave a 5-star review, put in there the vehicle, the year, the make, the model, the services performed, so that there's some collateral there for Google on the next review. If it is a 5-star review and you have no idea who it is, it could be a relative of somebody that went on and left it for him, or a spouse, or a partner, or you never know. So the 5 stars that you don't know, say thank you very much and carry on.
The person that asked this question is skeptical. They think that I think they're going to get caught. They're like, they're not trying to set us up for anything. Google isn't testing us, et cetera, et cetera.
No, Google's got other fish to fry. This is not a conspiracy theory on that one.
And then Chris is the gentleman that asked you earlier about the 1-star review and how you respond. So he's actually followed up with another question. So he says, when you receive a 1-star review from someone you did not do business with, do you
Yes.
respond to that review? Like, even though you're reporting it, do you also respond to it and say, hey, not sure who you are, love to make it right?
Yes, absolutely. Love to meet you. Love to shake your hand and say hello. Love to make this right. Here's my phone number. Give me a call. Let's make this right. Absolutely.
And then you follow it up with reporting it as well, just in the case that Google's like, nope, I'm going to leave that up there. At least you've done your due diligence and you've replied. You've replied.
Golden hours. We talked about it before. Somebody said that when their service advisor or manager goes in and marks it as inappropriate the same day, it has a better response. Same goes for your replies or your responses to the 1-star reviews. The quicker you get them out there, the better it is. Even the 5 stars, the quicker you get your response out there, the better it is. So within the same day is really good. Within the same week, yeah, that's nice. That's good. Within the same month, okay, you might want to actually allow somebody else to do it for you so that those replies have that additional Google review juice to really pump up your Google business profile.
And I hate to keep jumping in, Jimmy, but I know that
I love it. This is great.
I know that a tip or trick that we use is we do set up email notifications, right? So if Google My Business will actually say, hey, you've just received a new review, And so you're not having to go check Google every single day, but you can get those email notifications.
Yeah, and that helps. That helps tremendously. So when you get that email, don't ignore it. Don't delete it. Don't say, "Oh, good, another 5-star review." Go in and reply to it, and call them out by name. Name their vehicle, services performed, and chances are you know what that is because you have your point of sale system. You can look them up in RO Writer and say, "Oh yeah, we worked on the Ford F-150 or Nicole's Chevy." Super awesome. Okay. I'm showing you this because it is Yelp. Same thing happened within Yelp, and very quickly, Yelp was able to shut it down. Love them or hate them, Yelp is a thing. People use them, and it's a thing. So you do have to pay attention to it. I would advise that as much as possible to not pay them for those services because you can have a free account, but once you start paying, you got to stay in there. So the stars that you've got, when there's unusual activity, Yelp will close down the account fairly quickly because they see that unusual activity that's happening and calming it and making it stirring up all those negative reviews. Okay, so let's also talk about missing reviews. This does happen within your Google business profile, within your Google platform. So every week, log in and copy and paste your Google reviews into a Word document, into a Google Doc. Have those in there because you can go back to Google and say, look, I had 440 reviews and now I only have 200. When Google goes in, sometimes they change the rules and all of a sudden, they're all gone. So if you can prove to Google that you had 440 reviews and they weren't removed because of you breaking the terms and conditions, Google will revitalize those and bring them back up. The way to get those back up is to document. Stage 4 there. How do you document? You screenshot your RO Writer. You screenshot showing that that is a customer or not. Screenshot as much as possible. Nicole, another comment?
No, you just addressed it. It was how do you copy those reviews? I
Copy the
think you
reviews
answered
into a Word doc, absolutely paramount. But don't give that information or data to Google until you have a case number, a case file. That's when you've got a human on the other side that is going to assist you in documenting and bringing those reviews back up. Very important. All right, so let's talk about review gating. I think it was Steve talking about the experience, that exit interview. Google will never be able to prove that you are gating, but by definition, you're kind of gating. What does that mean? That means if it's a 3 or less, and this, so I'm going to speak not to the exit interview, I'm speaking to your follow-up afterwards. So when you're sending an email or a text message, how did we do? How would you rate us on a scale of 1 to 5? Well, if they give you a 1 to 3, you're going to send them a Google form because you want to make that right. You want to correct that before it goes into a Google review. Well, if they're going to leave you a 4 or a 5, then you send them a link to your Google reviews. This is gating. This is gating. And this is where a shop went from 440 reviews down to 85. So what happened? There's there's an analysis that Google did. They went in and looked and said, okay, well, from this point forward, everything was a 5-star review. Shunk, they're going to delete them all. They deleted all those reviews, and you will not get those back. Even the legit ones, even though they are legit, the gating says that you have been steering those to a Google form because it was a 1, 2, or 3, and those that were a 4 or 5 got the Google review link. I've seen this happen a lot, and it's not good. Don't do it. Some shops say, oh, well, you know what, Jimmy, I'm just going to do it until I get caught. Okay. Good luck to you. I hope you don't get caught. Chances are you're going to get caught. And when you do, you're going to lose all those reviews, and it happens instantly. It happens overnight, and it hurts. It just hurts because you have worked hard to make it right from the very beginning. So my advice to you is, if you're going to go after Google reviews, be an open book. Have that open book experience with everybody and give them the opportunity of leaving you a 1, 2, 3, 4, or even a 5-star. Here's the link to our Google reviews. Leave us a review. And there are some platforms that after a client has left a Google review, you can switch it to leave a review on Facebook, or leave a review on Yelp, or leave a review on the website. So after they have had multiple drops or multiple reviews with your shop, now maybe you just put them all into the website. Nicole.
Yeah, is it possible to export the reviews from the business page, or a simple copy and paste into a Word doc is what you're suggesting?
Copy and paste into a Word doc. There is
There's
no
no
export function. It's a copy paste. So if ever you go to your website developer and say, hey, look, I want all of my reviews to be listed here on my website, it's called scraping. They can go out and scrape your Google Business Profile for reviews. They can scrape your Facebook for reviews, Yelp for reviews, SureCritic for reviews, Bird's Eye, Neighbor, Glassdoor. They can scrape all these different business platforms and bring all those reviews into one location, which is where you'll see some shops have 1,500 5-star reviews on their website, but when you go to their Google Business Profile, they might have 500, 600, 700, 800. Where's all these other reviews coming from? They have scraped them from all these different areas and brought them into one big pile on their website. And there's tremendous value of having those on the website as well. So that's really good. But don't do the gating, because that becomes very bad. Google reviews. Oh my goodness, Nicole, we are all right. Everybody that's here, you're welcome to stay, but we've hit the hour point. But I've got some great information. Let me drop this last story, and then we'll put a period or a comma at the end of the sentence. Maybe we have to come back for a little bit more.
Well, that's what I
Collins
was going
Auto.
to say, Jimmy. Folks can stay. We can keep going if I have time, if you do. And if you have to drop off, like I said, we'll send you the recording and you won't miss a thing, and you can watch it whenever you guys have time. Yeah, take your
Yep.
time, Jimmy.
Okay, so let's talk about Collins Automotive. This is a shop in Canada, and this shop came to their website provider and said, "Oh my gosh, you're wasting our Google ad spend. You're optimizing us for transmissions. We don't work on transmissions. We don't do the R&R. We're not going to unbolt them and plug them back in. We just stay away from transmission. We don't do transmission work." Well, the website developer was not listing them for Google ads for transmission. They were not. There was a change in Google's rules. And when we talk about Google says and what Google does isn't always congruent, this is that scenario. They say that the Google reviews don't affect your Google ranking. Well, in fact, they do. This happened with this client, and it took a lot of research to discover a review from 2018. It was like 2 years prior. The client mentioned the word transmission 3 times in the review, and this boosted them to the top. Even though there was a transmission shop right down the street, this shop showed up and they were getting 8 to 9 calls a week for transmission work. They're like, we don't do transmission work. We do transmission flush. We change transmission fluid, but we're not doing the transmission work. So interesting scenario. The keywords that you're putting in there have a tremendous amount of value. Don't keyword stuff it. Don't make it look like you're stuffing it full of the word transmission. Clients' words here, not the shop's words. Clients' words carry a tremendous amount of value to your Google ranking and to your Google reviews. So the question might come from you to say, all right, Jimmy, this is great information. There are so many review sites. Where should I spend my time, effort, and energy? So depending on how much time you have set aside, whether it's a daily basis of 10 minutes or a weekly basis of an hour, whatever that scenario looks like, you want to spend the majority of your time in Google. About 50 to 75% of your time you want to spend in Google, and the other 25 to 50% of time I would spend it in responding to Facebook or Yelp reviews. That's where we want to spend your time, in working those reviews to be those raving fans for your shop. Nicole.
I'm back, and I know we're trying to get through this, but some great questions. This particular question says, does Google tell us when they make a change in their reporting methods? So like in their algorithm, basically. And if not, is there a resource where we can find the changes that have been made? Google doesn't make
Yeah.
it easy. Google doesn't make it easy.
No, they don't. They really don't. And no, they don't really project it out there. They don't give a whole lot of warning or, hey, this is coming, or hey, this is happening. Now, there is one that's happening in March that Google has announced, which is governing around using celebrities as fish bait, where the celebrity brings you in, but you're putting them into something else, as well as AI. There's a big release in March. But to the Google reviews, no, there's no algorithm, there's no warning. They make the change, and then all of these companies come and work it in reverse, trying to figure out what is it that changed, what is the new rule coming from Google that has changed here in this situation. Because as you'll see, Google doesn't communicate a lot of what those changes are. Nobody knows the algorithm. Google won't release what that algorithm is. I suspect it's because it's super complicated and it gives a lot of weight to recent reviews and not as much to older reviews. And yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into there that we just don't know about. Final questions, comments, concerns? Google reviews, I love them. It's such a love-hate relationship because we love the positive, we hate the negative, but now hopefully you have some tools that help you to embrace that negative a little bit more. And let's not call it negative, let's call it a one-star review. You can embrace those one-star reviews, especially those badge of honor that you earned, to help the next person understand how you made it right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jimmy. While I'm waiting for any last minute comments, questions in the chat here, I just want to remind the audience, once again, hate to sound like a broken record, but the slides and recording will be sent to you, so don't stress there. We'll try and get those to you by the end of next week. We do encourage you guys to complete the post-webinar survey. So if you want to hear more from us, or if you want to give us feedback, topics for next time, we love the feedback, so we really appreciate it. And then one last point, and an exciting point for RO Writer, but we have a brand new resource coming out in the next couple of weeks on hiring and retaining the best team in the business. So if you're struggling to obtain new technicians, like a lot of folks in the industry, let us know in the chat and we'll put you on the distribution list. You'll be the first in line to get that ebook. Like I said, a lot of stuff in there. We have a hiring checklist. Really great resource. So we want to get your hands on that. We have a couple people, Hugh and Chris, just say thank you so much, Jimmy. They really, really appreciate it. Lots of great information there. So I appreciate that, Jimmy. Any kind of final words to leave the audience with today?
Yes, love your Google reviews. Love them. The 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars. You love them all. Respond to all of them. Some you actually earn, and some are given to you as a gift. And I am from the Institute for Automotive Business Excellence. This QR code that you see here on the screen, if you want to scan that, we can have a conversation and really go into analyze your business, analyze your practice, so that what are those areas that you might be blind to? What are those areas that you might need a little bit of assistance with some advice? We can push you or pull you or direct you in the right path to take to become that best shop that you can possibly be. That business assessment, it's like a $6,000 value, and we provide it to you pro bono for being here as part of this webinar and being part of the automotive industry. Our goal from the Institute is to help you build a better business so that you have a better life. And as collective, what's the net result? It's a better industry. Better business, better life, better industry.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Happy belated birthday. I hope you have so much fun at your party this weekend. Don't celebrate too hard. And a final thank you to our audience. You guys tuned in, you showed up, you asked questions. It was amazing. You're always engaged with the content. So until next time, we'll talk soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.